What do you got for us, Chris?
I'm pretty sure diarrhea soon.
And now, Cheese Wits.
Bonjour.
That shit has been ringing for 2.5 minutes.
Really? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I just happened to look at the clock and say, geez, it's 4:02. Where's Jess? Then I said, maybe she forgot to turn her clocks ahead. Although that happens automatically. Yeah, and I just looked and then I saw it. No noise on my end.
I had all of the noise on my end. I've been listening to it ring.
I had none. I was just reading an article about Katie Britt. That crazy person who spoke after Biden.
Mm.
Where's Christopher? I thought I saw that he joined. Maybe not.
Nope, you were the first one.
Yeah, I had no ringing on my end. That's weird.
Does it usually?
Yeah, it usually makes a noise.
Mm.
Like a beep, 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 beep.
Yep.
Something like that.
That's what I heard for 2.5 minutes.
I heard nothing. And I'm looking. I was in here early. Well, not early, but I was in here like at 57. Here we go here. Bingo. Well, so she's a weirdo. Harvard psychologists, if you say yes, Jess, to any of these 9 questions, you're more emotionally secure than most.
Okay.
Do you want to hear some
of these
of the
9
questions?
questions?
Huh?
If I say yes to any of the questions?
Yeah, that's what it says. It says, it's a CNBC story. Harvard
I
psychologist.
feel like we're doing a real live radio morning show
If
now.
you say yes to any of these 9 questions, you're more emotionally secure than most.
Okay.
You just happened to see this when I opened it up. It's a Harvard trained, so she's a Harvard trained psychiatrist, so you know it's got to be true.
This is real. If you find it on the internet from a Harvard trained psychiatrist.
And it's got CNBC on it, so you know that too.
This
It's
is
coming
real
from a
shit.
financial-
All right. Let's see how emotionally secure I am.
Here's the first question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you listen to different perspectives you disagree with?
Sure.
I can listen to them too. Doesn't mean I agree with them. Can you set healthy boundaries?
Yes.
Jess, we are so fucking beyond
Right?
emotionally secure.
We're already double emotionally secure.
We are. 3, can you admit when you're wrong?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can.
I can also admit when Wally's wrong.
Yes, I saw that. I responded in kind.
Uh-huh.
Do you know your core values and beliefs? Yeah.
Sure.
Can you express negative emotions respectfully? Jess, do not lie here.
Sometimes.
Yes, Jess can. 2 times out of 98 times, absolutely. Can you take criticism from others? Fuck yeah. You get that all the time. If you're married, you get criticism. That's just the way it goes.
I was just giving you the finger and you didn't even see it.
Oh, no, because I'm reading this. I can't see you right now. Where you? Fuck you. You can see me.
I was giving you the finger for giving me criticism. So, yeah, I can fucking take criticism from others.
Let me show me how you give the finger. I want to see what your finger looks like. Okay, yeah. Because, you know, some people do, like, there's weird, some people give, like, weird fingers. They don't, like, some people do it this way. Some people do it this way. There's weird ways people give the finger.
Who is curling their finger? That's
I don't know. They give it this way. Like,
Nobody
it's not
curls their finger up to give the finger.
It's not a full upright finger.
Well,
so like
maybe they're double jointed.
The sideways one, double jointed. Oh, okay. I lost my thing. Where is it? I lost my schmeckle. Can you stop yourself from reacting impulsively?
Sure.
Yes. Do you continually strive to change and grow? I would say no. I don't continuously do it, but I do it.
I mean, I go to therapy regularly, so I would say yes.
Continually, yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with you. I buy into that. Do you trust that you'll be okay no matter what challenges come your way?
Eventually.
Yeah, I'm not worried about shit like that.
I have to lose my shit for a little bit first, and then.
Right.
Then, yes.
Right. All right. So I wish Chris was here. I did not get that job.
I'm texting him. Oh, you didn't?
No. And I sort of knew I wasn't going to. I think I mentioned this to you. When the director of the program came to sit in on the interview and was wearing an orange hunter's knitted cap, I knew I was in trouble.
No, you did not mention that. Why would that make you in trouble?
Because it's a job interview. I knew that I was overdressed. I was over it was I just was not in the place that I needed to be in that. I wasn't casual enough. I was too serious, I think. Oh. Yeah, I was not. I mean, we're talking about a this is the director of housing for homeless vets.
Yeah, that seems like pretty serious.
Yeah, so you're not expecting someone to come out with, wearing an orange stocking cap and.
I mean, unless they just got back from hanging out with the homeless people.
No, she was in her office. It was 1:00 in the afternoon. It wasn't like one of those. She was there, and not that this has no matter, but I was all women were at the interview. That had no bearing at all on it, but it was all women, and I realized about halfway through the third interview I wasn't going to get it. Because they asked me 2 questions that sunk me, Jess.
Okay, what were they?
The one question was, I know it sunk me, was about and I can't even think of the word right now. Juggling lots of things at once. What do people call that?
Multitasking.
Multitasking. And my response was, I don't believe there's such a thing. So I just don't believe that. I believe you begin something and you end something. You can't do a heart surgery and clean teeth at the same time. You got to start one thing, finish it. You can have lots of things going at once, but they're generally all part of the same thing. Like you can do different things.
Bless your heart. Okay.
There is no such thing as multitasking. There just isn't. Not if you plan on finishing anything.
Chris is here.
I am here.
Chris, what's your take on multitasking?
Oh, I can't do it. I just got here.
Yeah, well, I was talking about. I did not get that gig.
Oh dear.
And I was saying to Jess, I think there was a couple of questions that sunk me, and one was about multitasking, which I just believe there's not a such thing, or that multitasking is it's a way to start a lot of stuff but not finish much. And if you got to finish stuff, you can't be doing 9 things at once. You just can't.
Well,
people can talk about multitasking, and I think there's some. I don't know. I don't want to argue about any of this, but I think there are some studies that say that multitasking is a myth. It just so my point, my example was you can't be doing a heart surgery and doing somebody's teeth cleaning at the same time. Something's going to fall through the cracks. That's, I guess, my point of multitasking. Shit always falls through the cracks when you try to do that. It's like the people at McDonald's who are running really fast in the back. They seem to be moving really fast, but shit, the line just keeps getting longer. Nobody gets anything done. And what was the other question was, they asked me if faced with a landlord not getting paid from the tenant that you have housed, and the landlord is concerned because the tenant has a lot of guests who are making other tenants uncomfortable because of drug use or substance abuse or just being loud and obnoxious. How do you handle that? And I said, well, it's sort of a supply and demand. So I think you have to, there's more people in need of housing than there are houses. So you sort of have to try to placate the guy who owns or the woman who owns the house and say, and talk to the tenant and say, listen, you gotta figure out a way not to have all this going on. And I saw the looks on their faces. No, landlords are not the priority. I knew it then. I had just answered wrong. I don't know that I answered wrong. I wouldn't have changed my answer. I just wouldn't. So there it is, my job down. But I sent a nice note letter thanking them and saying, listen, if it doesn't go well with whoever your other, I don't mind being the second or third choice. Well, I don't. Because I think it's good work they're doing. I think they're doing good stuff. And I would not mind being part of something like that. So that's that.
All right. Well, Chris,
how did some other jobs?
Chris, how did your doctor's appointment go?
Not great.
Oh,
I am still trying to just sleep it off. So I just woke up. And I have to be in Detroit this week for work, so that ought to be fun.
Good times.
They think, but they're not sure. I got to get the the double scopes next week on the 19th.
Oh yeah, the double scopes.
Yeah. But they think that maybe when my gallbladder surgery was done 20 years ago, something is like kind of undone itself and it's allowing bile backflow.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a party.
Yeah.
Well,
so
if I might say, on the positive side, Jess and I just took coming in on the number 9 on this, Jess, the world is not over. On the good side of that, it's not stomach cancer.
Right.
Which
you mentioned being concerned about last week because the internet told you so.
So it's so if it is the bile thing, that's repairable. And I would assume, even though it's invasive, a relatively simple fix of let's tie shit back up.
Right. Exactly. Or it could just be an ulcer. Who the hell knows?
Right. Man, you are going to be feeling some kind of good when you have, when I had the double scope done, I've had the double scope twice.
Yeah.
You are loopy for some time later.
So you're saying I'm not bowling Tuesday night. Is that what you're telling me?
Not if you're having it. Well, maybe.
Could you get him to do it on a Sunday?
I wish they could.
Just before we record.
Yeah, I wish they could. No, it's Tuesday afternoon at 1:45 next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a 3-hour recovery.
So whether it's the gallbladder thing or an ulcer, that scope should figure it out, right?
With any luck, yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So we'll see.
Did they give you any advice for how to eat between now and then?
Basically, they gave me a really low-fat diet, or they told me to do the brat diet, one of the two. Oh. And they gave me something that it's some sort of powder that you're supposed to mix with something and have it before you eat meals, something called Questran or something.
And your stomach or something?
I don't know whether it coats your stomach or binds you up or what. I don't know what the hell it does. So
I think binding up would not be good for you right now.
But I mean, it's not great. I went to church today, let lightning strike for my parents' 50th anniversary. And I was sitting there the whole time going, oh God, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up.
But happy anniversary to your parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Figure that one out. 50 years. Defied every fucking odd there.
I mean, I can't figure it out.
Hell, they don't even like each other. I don't know how they're,
Well, we've lost Wally. He just wandered off.
We're having basement issues again, so I had to check the pump was working.
That's actually what my dad said about me this morning. You're still having basement issues, son? Yes,
turn the pump off. Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but definitely with the gallbladder, you got to stay away. Obviously, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but that's the stay away from grease and fat and dairy lots of times. And
this medical advice brought to you by Cheese Wits.
There you go.
Right. But it is true. You can't eat the fat and shit once you have your gallbladder out because you have nothing to deal with it.
But then they got me on these proton pump inhibitors too, which I don't think are working.
What are those? What is it?
Proton pump inhibitors, also known as Nexium. So, yeah.
Proton? Protein?
Proton.
What is
proton pump? I don't know what it is.
Proton pump. Sounds like that's something they do on Star Trek.
Yes, it sounds like something they're doing in the bathroom on Star Trek.
Come on in the room and do the proton pump.
So, man, I felt fine when I was asleep, and now I'm awake, and it's like, brr.
I was watching before you came. So I've been watching some 70s shows today, and and I was watching. Joe Flynn. Any idea, Chris?
The fuck is that?
Joe Flynn is the actor.
Okay.
Captain Binghamton on McHale's Navy.
Okay.
But also, more importantly, Dean Higgins on The World's Strongest Man with, I think it's Kurt Russell. But goddamn, that guy, some kind of funny. I was watching movies with, I was stuck on Don Knotts today. I think I'm going to watch The Incredible Mr. Limpet later tonight. Sometimes I get stuck in these grooves. I like
God damn that guy. Barney Rubble, what an actor.
I'll tell you what, that Don Knotts, what kind of career did that guy have? What a huge career.
Mm-hmm.
You look at his career, it's fucking enormous and very varied. But he had that he had that Barney Fife look all through his career, that nip it in the bud sort of weird face twitch he did. But man, I like that. I enjoy that shit. I'm not even so old that I should enjoy that stuff so much. It's just good shit. I'm not. Some of that stuff I saw as a kid, like The World's Strongest Man. Do you remember that one?
No.
It came out when it came out with all those Disney ones, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and all those different movies that Disney poured out in the 70s.
No, I don't remember The World's Strongest Man.
How old were you in the 70s?
I was born in the 70s.
73?
72.
72. Yeah, so you probably wouldn't know them.
No. I know.
No.
I remember Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but I'm pretty sure by the time I saw it, it was pretty old.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure too. A classic. I really do like that. So I like new stuff too. I'm just saying I have an appreciation for old stuff too. It's just so funny because all the funny in that shit is in the writing. And a lot of the funny now is in the action. But back then a lot of it was in the funny. And the movie I was watching was called How to Frame Fig. It was fantastic because in this particular movie they replaced 3 employees with a computer. And that was sort of the gist of it. There were 4 employees, and they replaced 3 of them with a computer.
And this took place when?
1974.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was funny to see. Well, I think there was such a scare. Computers were nothing back then, but I think there was a huge scare.
They absolutely predicted the future, didn't they?
Oh yeah, there was a huge. Well, that's what I was thinking when I was watching. I was saying, man, they don't know how close they were with this shit. But it was so funny to see the computers. It looked like a radio station backroom transmitter rack. There were big wheels going and lights everywhere. The way they envisioned computers, which was kind of close. I
mean, that's how they started out.
Yeah, in the late 70s and early 80s. But goddamn, they couldn't have predicted now where you got a computer in that palm of your hand and you can do 10 times as much. But it was so neat to see that and say, like, Jesus Christ, if they really somebody had some vision to know that shit was going to go on. That's some huge vision. So, Chris, why are you going to where are you going? Detroit?
I'm actually going to Lansing. I guess I'll be in Detroit for a few hours. But yeah, just work stuff.
Don't get killed in Detroit.
It's just the fucking airport. So I
make it out.
Still.
Yeah, don't get killed. Jess is right.
Still.
You just got me killed. Yeah, it's just the airport, right?
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Well, lots of things happen in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff go on. So
True.
So how do you balance that when you have to go on these trips and you have to have special diets and stuff? How it can't go into like Denny's and go, yeah, I'll have some toast, a banana, a little rice.
Well, actually, I guess you can ask for toast at Denny's, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I actually was discussing that today. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
No, because you got to be serious about it. If you want to fucking get, not get all fucked up inside, you got to get real serious about it, right?
Right, exactly.
You can't be. I know can't be toying around with it.
Right. So I don't know.
I'll be good for 2 days a week, and then 5 days a week I'll fuck myself up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that sucks. That's tough. Plus, you got all the other shit going on.
Yeah. So we'll see.
How's the sale of the farm going?
Let's. I don't even want to get into it.
Chris is living the dream.
Yeah, I get it.
Living the dream.
I get it.
Well, you can be like me. I did apply for some more jobs. I'm applying on. You guys ever use Indeed?
Not really, because
no.
they don't really have music industry, radio industry jobs for, you know.
I did see one today I did see one today on Indeed where they wanted I think they were paying what were they paying? $1.75 a minute to edit shit. Some sort of it was a podcast.
Audio editing, really?
Yeah, audio editing. And
now, is it per finished minute?
Per finished minute, yeah. $1.75 per finished minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess that's a little low, but not bad.
Yeah, it depends on how it comes to you, and they want there's like to cut down stuff, tighten shit up, and get rid of background noise.
I would do that. Maybe I should be looking at Indeed.
Yeah. So I think it's something you can. I think it's something that can be done by anybody who knows how to use Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put it through and fucking crank it through. Yeah, it was on Indeed. If I'll look again if I see it. If you're interested, I'll send it over if I find it again.
Okay. I'm assuming it wasn't like a full-time on staff.
No, yeah, no. I think it was, yeah, it was per, and I think it was probably a couple, a couple 3 a month or something.
Although I tell you what, doing this, and you probably know this too because you're doing the delivery jobs and stuff. Fucking taxes when you do these side hustles.
It's huge.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, because you're paying double. Essentially, you're paying the employer's portion and your portion. When you work for somebody, you're only paying half.
It's not even just that, because when I was doing mine, it took me several tries because I would get frustrated and walk away.
Yeah.
Because I needed to pay taxes on the audiobook narration stuff, which I made like, I don't know, $600 or something in 2023.
So you didn't have a ton of tax.
So I didn't have it. So no, but when I tried to put it in, and I didn't have 1099s for it, but because it went through Audible, I knew I had to report it anyway.
Yeah.
And so I try to put it in there, and then it's like, oh, okay, then you have to add this self-employment tax, and you have to put in the name of your business. And I'm like, no, I don't have a business. I'm not living on the $600 I made last year.
Right.
So I had read that you could do it as hobby income. And the same thing for, I think I told you I do that thing through Amazon where I get free products and then have to review the products.
Yeah.
Well, they sent me a 1099 NEC for non-employee compensation, and the tax rate on that is fucking really high. And also I made like 600, I got about $600 in product for that. And so I finally had to go in. I was using TurboTax, and I had to go in and get the expert help to do it.
Ugh.
And then I had to upgrade to a different level to do hobby income.
So you lost money in your hobby income.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't,
life.
but it was a couple $100 that I had to spend to file the way that would allow me to do it as hobby income and not do it as a self-employment job. Because I was like, and I said to her, I was like, come on, you can't seriously make me report this as a job, right? Because it's not even paying 1 month of mortgage. Like, it's
right.
When you take these two things combined, it doesn't pay my mortgage.
Kids with lemonade stands make more.
Right. And so she figured it out, but it took so fucking long.
But so that's the thing. So then you have to weigh that shit out, right? You got to look at it and say, okay, I made $600 doing this, $600 doing that. I had to pay $200 in taxes and $200 to get it done. So now I'm down to $800. I spent 400 hours trying to make $800. Yeah, fuck this. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an immense amount. The self-employment tax, which is essentially, I mean, it's if you're self-employed, everybody who's self-employed knows that if you work for somebody, they pay half your tax and you pay half your tax. When you work for yourself, you're paying both sides of that tax.
Yeah. And but since I did it as hobby income, thankfully I didn't have to do self-employment tax.
Right.
So I saved a little bit there. But also, how are you going to consider it self-employment when I got some free curtain rods? Like, like I understand a gift, like income is income, but come on.
But it's also crazy that that's taxed at a higher rate than going out and having a job.
I don't know why they chose to put it on that specific kind of 1099. I didn't have to report it that way, thankfully, but.
Well, listen, there's something they know that you don't. That's what it comes down to.
They have people. They have
right. They have people that somehow have said, in order for you to pay less tax, you got to make sure Jess pays more tax.
Yeah.
So you, Mr. Bezos, will pay less tax.
Poor Jeff Bezos. He's struggling so hard so that I can pay extra taxes on my $600 in Amazon products.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's so you want to on one side be just completely infuriated by a guy like him, right? But on the other side, you want to say like, what a fucking brilliant motherfucker.
No, he did it.
You know, I mean, he did it. He employs, thousands of people. Just his companies employ thousands of people. It's just the fact I was listening to, and I think it was Bill Maher maybe who said it, or somebody on Bill Maher's show. He said, I don't hate Jeff Bezos.
No.
What I hate is Jeff Bezos doesn't pay the same tax rate that I pay.
Right.
And I give him money to have a business. I use his products. He in turn employs people, but he also gets tax incentives and my money in other ways that I don't get to take advantage of, that he does take advantage of.
Right.
So just pay your fair fucking. The same with all of them. I don't begrudge any of these rich motherfuckers.
I don't either.
But, whether it's Walmart, the Waltons are the Walton family is somewhat sleazy, but
I mean, treat your employees right, first of all.
Yeah, that's the thing. So you get the feeling with a company like the company I've never heard bad shit about of a super wealthy guy is Microsoft. You never hear. I have not heard stories about Microsoft employees, getting fucked.
I would guess though that some of these companies have non-disclosure agreements.
Oh, I would assume so too.
Like you can't badmouth them.
Yeah, probably not. But
because Microsoft is all up in your shit. They can see what you're doing on your computer. They are spying on you. They know whether you are bad mouthing them.
You and I talked about that the other day. That Chris, imagine my shock. I almost drove off the road on Wednesday. I think it was. Jess called me.
What?
I thought he went to sleep.
I did too. Well, in my defense, here's what had happened was, it was the day after Facebook and Instagram went down, right? And
that was a terrible day for all of us.
Terrible day. We've made it through.
So
I
didn't even know what happened.
It was the day after that happened, and my friend texted me because she was listening at that moment to our last episode. The one where Wally says, I don't even know my Facebook password. If I got logged out, I would be screwed.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
And so she texted me and she said, I'm listening to this week's episode and I'm wondering, can Wally get back into his Facebook account after we all got logged out yesterday after the outage? And I was like, well, I don't know. I haven't talked to him. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I better get his ass on this now, just in case it takes him until Sunday to figure out how to get logged back in. And so I called him.
You're not wrong.
Right? So I called him to see if he could get into his Facebook.
Well, and here's the truth. I had no idea there was a Facebook outage. I didn't know.
I was trying to, I sat down at my computer and Facebook was open, I think because we had, recorded and I had just left Facebook open, but it had logged me out and I thought, oh, that's weird, but I didn't log back in or do anything. And then when I tried to look at it on my phone later to prep my countdown, I was trying to log in on my phone and it was saying, we don't know this device, so we are going to send a thing for you to confirm on your phone. And I'm like, okay, but I'm on my phone. And then it was like, check your phone to confirm that it's really you. And I was like, but I'm on my phone. So then I had to go on my computer where it did let me log in and then confirm that, yes, that was me on my phone where it sent the thing to. But have you seen the conspiracy theories about those outages?
No.
I took a note because I saw somebody comment this.
Oh, I can't wait.
Facebook and Instagram went down not long after AT&T went down. Remember, that was the week before.
Yeah, AT&T was. And
it's all a practice run for how to cheat in the next election. When Trump surges ahead, all systems will crash and Biden will make a miraculous comeback.
So Facebook now is involved with counting votes.
Yes. And AT&T. Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
These fucking nut jobs. Just complete, just nut jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so I can't. It's almost, and I think I said this a few weeks ago, and I still don't do it. I have not listened to MSNBC or Fox and Friends, and normally I would listen to those just to see where's the mood. It's been 6 months now since I've tuned into any of that shit. And it's so much better not tuning into it. It's actually so much better. It's so much better just reading, like reading. So what I ended up getting was a subscription to the New York Times, and just the online version, just so I can read bits and pieces. I'm not going to fucking read a fucking 40 column inches of text, but I'm gonna pay attention to the headlines and just pay attention to little shit here and there and what might pop up on a news feed that I might, my local stuff, but not listening to that shit. It's so fucking good not listening to it because it's so divisive each way.
That's how I feel about not watching the news for the last 4 years.
You're right. Any of the national stuff, it's just so, the national news, the MSNBC is fucking so divisive one way. Fox is so divisive the other way. Mm-hmm. So now it's kind of good to sit back and look at this shit every now and again. I'll look at the MSNBC webpage, and you look at it and it's so laughable. The headlines are so fucking laughable on CNN, on MSNBC, on Fox. They're just complete. They all look like Onion News headlines. Mm-hmm. They just do. They look just ridiculous. And people who used to have credibility, they just have no credibility.
Yeah.
They follow all these wackadoodle things. Like that thing you read. Where did you read that? Was that just one of the?
It was a comment on a post from somebody that I know. Like the person I know isn't the one who they posted something about the outage, and then one of their friends commented this thing about the conspiracy.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed, I talk about the town webpage here that we have, and it's and every town has it. And why the fuck does anybody? Once somebody answers a question, somebody will post a question like, "What happened on Route 4? It's shut down here." And then somebody will post, "There's an accident." And then 500 other people got to post, "There's an accident. There's an accident. There's an accident." Fucking somebody already said what it was. Shut the fuck up.
I've told you that there's the two guys on our neighborhood group, one who will chime in and go, hey, has anybody mentioned there's an accident? And the other one will just say, okay. He posts okay on every single post in that group.
It's fucking nut. Like everybody thinks they're fucking, Walter Cronkite. Everybody's a news reporter. Right. Everybody. Yeah, I went old, right? Everybody thinks they're Roger Mudd.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, why don't you bring up Edwin Newman for fuck's sake?
Edward E. Newman? No, what's
yes, that's the one. Edward E. Newman.
Yeah, but everybody thinks that there's some fucking. I don't even know who does the national news now on CBS, NBC. I don't even know who does it.
Couldn't tell you.
Lester Holt does NBC, I think.
Yeah, and ABC is a guy from that I did. The hell's his name? I did radio with him in Syracuse.
Oh, really?
David. The hell's his name? Yeah, at WSYR. Hang on.
Who is it? Who is it?
What the hell? David Muir.
Oh. What channel is he on? ABC?
Yeah.
So that's still decent. CBS is the one. Who's CBS got? I think they've got a woman.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, but I don't know who it is. Let's
see. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who the newscasters are. Because there used to be a time when you fucking didn't miss the news.
Nora O'Donnell.
Yeah. Who the fuck's that? Yeah, right? Who the fuck's that? But there was a time when when you turned on the fucking news and you believed Tom Brokaw and you believed whoever you believed Mike Wallace until he lied.
You believed Brian Jennings until he lied.
Yeah, right. You believe Brian Jennings until he lied. You believed him, but now you just don't even believe him from the get-go. You don't even know who the fuck they are anymore. And I think part of it is because when they do the news, they're doing it for a very specific crowd. They're doing it for the New York upscale liberal. Well, in the course of NBC,
they're doing it for New York who will buy the products being advertised on the show.
Right, and they do it in the audience. They're only thinking about a New York big city audience. Mm-hmm. Well, most of the fucking people in this country do not live in New York City. Right? I read something online just about. Was there a lot of Amber Alerts in Tennessee? I saw something say, what the fuck's going on in Tennessee? There's been 6 or 7 Amber Alerts this week.
I actually thought I actually thought they were like repeats for the same 2 kids.
Oh, I don't know.
I did not check every single one of them, but I've been following the stories of a couple of, because normally when they send the Amber Alert, they don't put a picture of the kid. And the description of the kid is not going to do me any fucking good, so I don't look.
You are so right.
But we also have in the local groups pictures of these kids that they're really trying to find. And one of them was an autistic kid who wandered off or was taken, a boy. And then there was a girl who was taken out of the town just south of Nashville, Murfreesboro.
We get more silver alerts here than Amber Alerts. Mm. Hey, there'll be one about me someday. Fat, short, white guy lost in the woods.
That'll be a silver alert, fucker.
That'll be me. Looking for fried clams. Couldn't find the place. Yeah, that will be me. But I think we have more of those. And I also figured this out this week. There's an up on the main highway that goes through town. There's an empty lot. And the power company parks their trucks there, and it's sort of whatever. It's a bullshit looking thing. They throw their trash all around. It's shit. And I mentioned something about it, and somebody went, "Oh well, someday they'll do something good there. It's not always going to be a parking lot. That's temporary." Blah 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 blah. And I wrote,
"Not the point."
Well, not the point. So I wrote, "Oh," and they said it'll surely enhance our community. And I wrote, "Fingers crossed, it'll be a 5th pot shop." So we have 5 pot shops. Then I found out we have 7 pot shops in town. That's an average of 1 pot shop for every 800 people.
Wow.
That includes, and that 800 people is kids, children, adults.
Are they not legal in the towns surrounding your town? Is that why they're cramming them all in there?
They're legal. They're legal. It's legal. we have a fucking ton of pot shops.
Good for you.
It's unbelievable. And those pot shops, I would call them medical marijuana places if there was one. But we don't need 7, 8. I think Shane told me there was 8 of them in town. That's an unbelievable amount. One of them is medicinal. The rest are medicinal strength, and the rest are recreational. Yeah. So they're selling. So anybody over 18 can go in.
I just found out a guy I went to high school with. I was chatting with him the other night because I'm going to Texas in a couple of weeks.
God love you.
Yeah, I was asking. I actually reached out to him to ask if he knew anybody that cleaned houses up near my parents, and he said that he actually drives through the town that my parents live in regularly. And he said, "Are you ready for the reason why?" And I said, "Because of the casino. Because they're in North Texas, right near the Oklahoma line, and there's a casino right over the Oklahoma line." Right. And he said, "Close." He said, I and a partner own 5 greenhouses and a dispensary right near the casino. I was like, no shit.
Yeah.
I may need your services when I'm there.
Are they, so that's probably an operation that's making money.
Probably.
But a lot of these operations, there's not in this town, but in the surrounding towns and cities, they opened, as soon as it became legal, they opened up. Fucking so many of them opened up and they closed just as quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's a glut. You don't fucking need that many. I mean, really, do we need more pot shops in town than grocery stores? I don't think so. We have 2 grocery stores and 2 gas stations.
I order my stuff online, so
8 pot shops. Your pot?
Well,
you can order it online?
Delta 8. It's not marijuana, but it's Delta 8. It's the THC. It's the only part that's legal, and they're trying to make it illegal again in Tennessee.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because of Jesus?
We don't want anyone enjoying their life here. So if you could stop that.
I'm not sure what people, you gotta wonder what people think Jesus and the disciples were doing.
Smoking pot.
You fucking bet your ass they were sitting around smoking pot, eating hummus. You know they were.
In their Birkenstocks.
You come on. Is there anybody more hippie than those guys? They're all walking around in togas and man dresses and night shirts and wearing sandals, long hair, not shaving, beards. You know they're eating hummus, smoking weed. It's not. They probably were having good stuff. They probably had hashish.
The original hipsters.
They were the original. There's no way Jesus was the original hipster. I like that. Jess, I think you hit on something there.
Do I need to make t-shirts?
I think you do. You know what? I think we do. Jesus was the original hipster, and
on the back it says cheese whiz.
Yeah, and then a cheese whiz. You know they were. Come on. 12 guys sitting around a table eating fucking all kinds of food. They got high just before that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went and had a big feast. And their munchies of the day were whatever they have. That's the other funny thing. It's just when you see the picture of the Last Supper, it shows like a table full of foods that they just did not have. There were no apples.
Look, could we let's not even talk about that, because after going to church this morning for the first time,
are you
and
afraid?
I guess the first time listening in church, Adam and Eve, and the minister's up there, and the serpent told Adam and Eve, and I'm like, back the fuck up. So we've got snakes that are talking in English.
This is the first you're hearing of this?
This is the first that I've paid attention to this. And I just sat there. I'm like, all right, well, clearly organized religion's bullshit. I mean, good fucking
Chris
God.
just found out.
The serpent is talking to fucking Adam and Eve. And the serpent said, don't eat those apples, but you can eat those apples. What in the fuck would a talking goddamn snake know? I mean, this is clearly Mandrake the Magician time at this point.
Well, you got to call Hanna-Barbera. They'd know what a talking snake would say. Oh, my
God. And that's all it is, too. That's all. I mean, look, everybody wants to sit there and go, oh, Jesus Christ, Lord, save me. Okay, look, we all on our fucking own. Okay? After hearing about the talking snake, we're all on our own.
Oh, for sure. The talking snake. Can you tell me they weren't high? They were high.
That's on the good peyote, on Jesus peyote.
Jesus peyote.
My God, but the talking snake, why the fuck? I mean, clearly I didn't pay attention in church for 20 fucking years. Yeah, 20 fucking years.
You know, I'm looking at a picture of the Last Supper right now. Everybody in the picture of the Last Supper is white.
Wally, shut the fuck up. You were looking at the artist's interpretation of a story they were fucking told. Well, you're not looking at a picture of the Last Supper. It's not like there's a goddamn Kodak of it.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. The representation is so fucking Anglo. It's all of it. Even the Sistine Chapel. God is a gigantic white guy. It's like, come on now.
Well, come on. And why does Jesus look like hipster Luke Perry? Who the fuck knows?
the last time anything was white coming out of Africa when Robert Redford did it. That's it. That's it. Yep. It's just an amazing twist. It's just such a twisting of whatever that was. Whatever.
Are you offended? Are you offended, Wally, that Black Santa's not at the Last Supper?
No, I follow no religion, so I'm not offended. I'm offended that people believe it, I guess.
I'm offended that I did until the fucking serpent started talking to Adam and Eve this morning.
I can't believe you just found out about the serpent.
I had no idea. And I actually perked up sitting there, and I'm sitting there next to Jenna, and she's tapping me on the shoulder, and I'm like, Jenna, shut the fuck up for a minute. And
did she just find out about the serpent too?
Oh, she's just singing along to the God, Jesus Christ is good because we've been told he was. You know, that hymn.
But, the thing that I find, you're in church in 2024, and they're talking about fucking Genesis? What the fuck? Did this church just open up? Was it like the grand opening? Grand opening of Jesus is Us Church. We're gonna start at the beginning. That's like, haven't they found something new to talk about in church? Instead of
they're going to start making up more shit. Apparently,
it's the same old shit. What do they say? What do they say? What is the saying when people continuously go over the same shit over, that old trope or whatever it is?
Oh, that old chestnut.
Yeah, that's it. That old chestnut, the talking snake.
Yeah, the talking fucking snake. Good God Almighty! So I'm hearing the Adam and Eve thing, right? And then, of course, on the other side of it, I'm hearing fucking Rush Limbaugh in the back of my head going, "Well, Adam and Eve, it's not Adam and Steve." I want you to remember that.
Fucking feminazis.
Yeah, isn't it interesting the way some people want to take specific pieces of the Bible literally?
Oh yeah,
but not the part where they're not white people.
Right. Oh, no.
Not the part where you can be stoned to death for lying or looking at another man's wife.
Oh, right. Well, let's not forget the fact that, listen, I know for a fact that at one point that you and I were in the studio, Jess, together, at one point, I'm sure I touched you while you were bleeding the Lord's blood. Okay. And I should have remained unclean for 7 days at that point, right?
I'm pretty sure I touched Jess too.
And nobody cut your hand off? What?
I think we should have we both, myself and Chris, were probably obligated to stone you in the parking lot.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then next time, Wally, you and I can do mornings on fucking Leviticus FM. Okay.
I think we probably were supposed to get some townspeople together.
Oh my Lord, we had to. I mean, Wally,
Jesus Christ.
Right. The worst thing, Wally, I am pretty sure I touched the fucking bleeding sieve on the same day that I ate a pork sandwich. Okay. So I don't know how the fuck I'm alive, but
tonight.
Am I going to go? Listen, am I going to be dying in a hospital next week, getting this shit up my ass and going, oh, Jesus Christ, or am I going to be, oh, fuck.
You know what? I had a post come up in my Facebook memories the other day from when I was in Maryland, where apparently the cashier at the grocery store asked me why I didn't have ashes on my forehead. And I was like, what part of this rotisserie chicken makes you think I'm Catholic?
Yeah. When is that? When was that? Was Ash Wednesday recently?
It was on a Wednesday recently. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I did see some people walking around with the ashes on their forehead, and I was like, oh, but I used to see lots of people with ashes. I saw like maybe 3 people on that whenever Ash.
Well, let's not forget. Now that's absolutely a real thing too. Now, I mean, it's the ash of Jesus Christ ash on your face, so that you can repent for your I don't fucking even know anymore.
Right, but it used to be you'd see a lot of people walking around with ashes. And now it's fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer. It's a dying religion as it was. I mean, it might be in some other reiteration right now, in some other iteration of what the church was, but it's not the way it used to be. Now I think it's all electric guitars and
that's another thing. Go to church today the organ is playing, and this organist, he was so awful. He was hitting something in the fucking key of R today. I don't know what the fuck it was, but but then all of a sudden there's the guitar and the drums and
wait, that's
all
not
this
just
bullshit.
I seriously thought that was just here in Nashville because it's
Oh,
Nashville.
no.
They have bands at all the churches.
yeah, we have
that's
them here
everywhere,
too.
Jess.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they've got electricity everywhere now, Jess. I mean, it's a new thing.
It wasn't about electricity. It was about rock bands singing.
I know. It's
singing
crazy.
in church.
I think at one point it was the way they thought they were going to
That's how they're bringing in the
younger
kids.
audience.
induct.
That's
the
how they're
kids.
bringing in the kids. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. You got to bring in the kids by playing the rock music about the fucking serpent talking to the goddamn unclothed Adam and Eve, who only realized they were unclothed after they ate the apple off the tree that the fucking snake told them not to goddamn eat.
And the snake told them.
The snake
Yes,
told
the
them
snake
them aware.
told them.
The snake told them
You
to
know?
eat it.
Yeah, and
The
the snake
snake said-
made them aware. Oh, he tempted them with it though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if I said this to my parents, oh, Christopher, where did we lose you,
Where
Christopher?
did we go wrong?
We thought we were good parents. Oh God, we thought we were good parents. Oh my God.
I am happy to say one of the great things about being a foster kid is I was not exposed to endless church going.
Oh my Lord.
Though I did go to Sunday school for a short time in one house and did learn the song, Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so.
That's exactly right. And listen, it does say the greatest story ever told, right? And
Yeah.
a story by definition is fiction, right? So,
Yeah.
why am I only reading between the lines at age 48? Somebody soon, and I hope I don't find out, but somebody soon is going to tell me that Bugs Bunny and dropping the anvil never fucking happened. Okay.
But let me
None
tell
of
you,
that shit ever happened.
here's what I think, Chris. I think that Jesus had a better publicist than Aesop's and the Grimms.
You think that's
He
what
had
it
a
was?
better publicist.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The writers of the Bible had better publicists and PR people. They got the word out there.
Good. And you know what? And then somebody saying, well, he was a Jew, so I don't know why Shel Silverstein didn't do as well. I have no idea.
Oh, I like Shel Silverstein stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is so. When people have my traditional gift, when people have babies,
Mm-hmm.
is the Giving Tree from Shel.
Really?
Fucking a great book.
My traditional gift when people have kids is, what the fuck did you just do?
It's such a fabulous book that it's been my go-to gift for people who I've known who have children who have a baby at some point. It's and it used to come get this, kids. That book used to come with a CD-ROM.
Oh wow!
Not originally.
It must be in my parents' basement
originally,
then.
but in the 90s, in the 2000s, yes, and the aughts.
What was on the CD-ROM?
Excuse me, it wasn't a CD-ROM, just a CD. I'm sorry. You could play the book. Read by Shel
it was an
Silverstein.
audiobook version.
Yeah, the audiobook version.
I'm sorry, it was read by Shel Silverstein.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, listen, kids. This is what we're going to talk about today.
And then the tree said, "Take my apples.
Take my apple." Now you know.
Cut off my limbs.
We've taken all the money. Now we're going to take the apples.
Yeah, I don't know what I was. Suddenly, I'm doing a dead man's impression there of what's his face, the parrot from Aladdin. Who's the comedian?
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert, yeah, I was doing Gilbert Gottfried.
Interestingly,
Gilbert Gottfried's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died.
When did that happen?
Several years ago.
Yeah.
Really? God, nobody called.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the oh no, wait, that's a different. I was just
while you're looking for that, Richard Lewis died, eh?
That's a shame.
For the Giving Tree, and I was about to say the audiobook version is actually narrated by somebody else, and then I realized that's a different Giving Tree. Because it
is
had
a different Giving Tree. Yeah, I don't know who. I actually don't know who it's narrated by. My assumption would be, but maybe
let's
not.
See.
You do your thing. You find, yeah. You know, I was watching him on when I was watching the last few episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was saying they are really, really coddling Richard Lewis. I mean, most of his scenes were sitting down. He didn't walk very often. I didn't realize he was very ill. But yeah, I was a little bit shocked that he had. But fucking man, back in the 80s and 90s, he was some kind of good.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah, he was some guy. The angst. He was angst before there was angst. You know, he was the black wearing angst teenager before there were angst ridden teenagers. He was just, it was a good shtick he had. It was very good.
Fred Homan read.
That's the reader.
The audio, narrated the audiobook.
I'm gonna have to listen for it. Yeah, I don't.
Fred Homan.
Yeah.
Well, can you pull up a piece, Jess?
It probably won't let me. Well, let me see.
Can you pull up that is I like that doggone. I like that doggone book. So Chris, what made you go to church today?
Parents' 50th anniversary.
Oh. And that's what Chris, all we want for our anniversary is for you to go to church.
Well, and they wanted us there was a church service today, and then they're having another party in a few weeks. I said, okay, that's fine. We'll make sure we go.
Was there a celebration that they celebrated? So was there an announcement? The preacher made an announcement.
Oh yeah, there was an announcement. They had a luncheon afterwards, and
for 50 years, it's Chris's parents.
And just God Almighty, how the fuck that happened? I mean, those people don't like one another, so I don't know how it, you know. But yeah,
that's a key to a long marriage, my friend.
Yeah, not liking one another.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
keeps you in separate rooms.
God, if only I'd known, I'd still be married to Julie had I known that.
So they don't kill anybody. That's why there's no killing.
It won't play.
Instead of the giving tree, the killing tree.
It won't play.
No, it won't play?
Mm-mm.
No. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Oh.
But it is
No, go ahead.
It is such a fabulous book.
Yeah.
And I've also seen Andrew Wyeth, who's a Maine artist, if you guys know Wyeth, been getting a lot of play lately. I've been seeing a lot of people having interest in him. He's a famous Maine artist and worldwide artist. He does. I've got a print. I've got two.
Chris,
Andrew
have
Wyeth
you heard of him?
Never.
Okay, me either.
Oh well, you guys aren't cultured. That's why.
Oh yeah, we're not cultured.
There
Says
you
the
go.
guy that's looking at a Polaroid of fucking
No,
The Last Supper.
it's not a Polaroid. It's the I already closed it out.
You gotta open it again so that we can't see it.
It was in Sanskrit.
No, I closed it out. No, I wanted to see what the traditional photo is. And the traditional photo is that one where there's I actually think there was one person of color in the picture, and the rest are just whiteys with white hair. And
here's Wally over there looking at his highfalutin artists and shit and going, now, Jess, I got to ask you a question. Jesus Christ, why is he eating Chipotle in the Last Supper picture? I don't understand. I don't think this is real. I don't think this is real.
Do you guys see that picture? Do you know that? Do you know that one?
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Christina's World. Ugh. There we go. Oh, I fucked this up, man. Here we go. So that's one of his more famous paintings. That's a print of his. There's a whole museum here for him and stuff. You'll find him online. Are you looking, Jess?
Yeah, and I definitely don't know that painting.
No.
Let me look again here. Let's see.
He's a very famous American artist because there are so few of them.
All I see is Wally and a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
What just happened here?
Okay, what happened?
Nothing. I'm not going to tell you anything what's going on my computer.
Nothing. Yes, because all these things are coming up. You know, all of a sudden, there's elderly porn sites are coming up.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so when we ended last week's episode, you guys were saying you wanted to hear a little bit more about CRS, and I realized there was one panel I completely forgot to tell you guys about.
Yeah.
It was the first day, and I missed the beginning of it, but I walked in. It was a panel about busting myths in the radio industry or the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And when I walked in, there was a guy who represented iHeartRadio. Decent guy. He's like a regional VP or regional program or something like that. And
do you have a name?
A couple of the stations. What's that?
Do you have a name?
He said his name. Decent guy.
No, he doesn't work for iHeart.
No, he does, except this part. This is the part that made me sit up, and then somebody else brought it up to me later and was like, can you believe he fucking said this? Because the myth that he was busting was that the PDs at the local level do not get any decision-making power when it comes to the music that they play.
Okay.
And he said with his whole chest that all PDs have autonomy at the local level.
Bullshit.
With
they
his
do have
whole
autonomy
chest
at the local level.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely do. But if you're caught doing it, you're fired.
Right. Right. They all have autonomy, but somehow they all have the exact same playlist.
They all have autonomy, but what's on WMZQ is on Q102 at the same time.
Yeah.
And POC.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing was there was a person representing YouTube on the same panel, and I don't remember what the myth was that she was busting, but I sat up and actually pulled out my phone and took a note when she was talking about how artists are not supposed to depend on getting put on YouTube Music's playlists to build their audience. They have to build their audience first, because she said, if we don't see data showing you're building an audience, how would we have any reason to put you on a playlist?
What fucking dummy is this?
And I thought, you have ears, right?
Who is this dumb bitch?
But then I was talking to a friend of mine who used to work at YouTube, and I brought this up, and she said that YouTube and Google as a whole are very much anti-people doing, like, making editorial choices. They like to have algorithms do the work. And that's why she said the thing that she said. But I was like, what do you mean? You're putting together playlists and you don't know without data whether a song belongs on your what?
So this might be, I don't know what people listen to music on. I use Spotify a lot. I listen to your company, Jess. And I listen to Sirius sometimes just because it's commercial free. I don't ever turn to YouTube for music. Do people listen to music on YouTube?
Well, now YouTube has officially they have launched YouTube Music, and so they have playlists specifically for that.
Well, of course I know that. I'm on the cutting edge of technology.
Of course you are. What a lot of people do, YouTube is a search engine more than anything else. So what happens is somebody will hear a song or an artist they're not familiar with on our company or on Spotify or one of the other ones, and then they will go to YouTube to look up that artist to find more about them.
Right. Yeah. So I have definitely done that.
Yeah.
Because on YouTube you can play a whole song when you find it, and on the other on the rest of them you get a snippet if you like we're listening to it on Amazon.
I'm not sure how YouTube gets away with that, because the reason that you can't get the whole song on the free accounts on any of the streaming services is because the royalties that we have to pay are higher to let you play a song on demand. I'm
wondering if there's some sort of video thing there, because you're watching a video, or it's other people's shit, right?
No, I mean there's definitely licensing involved, because when you pull it up, you can see on some of them it'll say provided to YouTube by Universal Music Group or whatever.
Isn't that how they get around the licensing and stuff? That they have to be given it from the music companies, right?
Well, yeah, but they must have to pay the higher level of royalties for on demand. So, like for example, with our service, if you are on the free level, you don't pay to listen to our stuff. You can listen to our stations that we have curated. You cannot listen to anything on demand because the royalties, we have to pay higher royalties. So in order for you to listen to stuff on demand, you have to pay us money so that we can then pay those higher royalties. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how YouTube allows you to listen to stuff on demand when they don't charge you for, I mean, they do have a premium on the music side, but I don't know.
I'm also wondering how internet radio stations are going to be able to stay in business, because it looks like more and more royalty companies or more and more different types of royalties are showing up.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't speak for how the other companies do it. I know that we have specific deals with the distribution companies. So those are negotiated every year.
So you pay directly to the distribution companies and not like ASCAP or BMI?
Right.
That's a much better idea.
Well, the distribution companies then send it to ASCAP and BMI and because we're paying all in one performance and publishing and all of the things. Because radio, I don't think pays performance royalties, or didn't when I was there.
No, I don't think. I think
publishing,
just writing, but just publishing.
Yeah.
But now however, with radio, with terrestrial radio, I know the last station I was at, they had to stop doing their internet play because it was costing way too much.
Yeah.
To do it, because there wasn't just ASCAP and BMI. You're paying ASCAP BMI, but then there was also their internet radio fees, and then there was other fees from a couple of other companies that were coming online, which were probably performance companies.
Well, and also ASCAP and BMI rates, I believe, are based on your market size. And so then when you put it on the internet, your market size gets a whole lot bigger.
Yes, it does.
You got it.
Yes. Yeah. So Chris, does your station do internet?
Yeah, we did. I just honestly said, fuck it. We don't pay the bill. Yeah. I mean, let them get in line and sue me. Gives a fuck.
I mean, that's a station that I was working at too. They just didn't pay the bill.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Get in line. You want to sue me? Take a fucking number.
Well, because I think they have the same attitude I have, like about taxes. Why the fuck do I pay taxes on the money I earn? Why the fuck do I got to pay for it when I save it and make a couple extra pennies when it's in the bank? I got to pay that tax on that. And then when I spend it, I got to pay a tax on the same. It's all the same fucking
I
dog.
was surprised, though. I didn't realize this because I'd never sold a house until last year. And that's another thing that complicated my fucking taxes, was that I sold a house and bought a house and
capital gains.
All of capital gains. But if you make less than, I think it was $250,000 as an individual or $500,000 as a couple, when you sell your house, you don't have to pay tax. You don't have to pay capital gains on that.
I did not know that.
I did not either.
I can't say that I didn't know that.
I mean,
we did pay.
I've never sold a house. This was the first one, and I made a bunch of money, but I didn't make $250,000. So
yeah, see, I had a few good years where we made that kind of money and we paid capital gains.
Yeah,
and capital gains suck.
Yeah,
yeah. It sucks. Not that I don't mind paying tax. I like the idea of education. I like the idea of good roads, and if we would have good roads, I don't fucking like paying more than I think is my fair share, though.
Well, and also, and this is where Chris accused me of some liberal bullshit on the internet.
Did he accuse you?
He did.
Oh no, I wrote that just to see if Wally would take the bait. That's all.
Well, Wally couldn't get back into his Facebook after the outage, so
of course.
No, I saw what Chris said. I could get shut a fuck up. I was there.
I said, can't the government just fucking tell me they know how much I owe? Tell me how much I owe. Let me pay the motherfucking fee and let's be done with it. Don't make me sit there for 3.5 hours trying to figure out what I'm supposed to pay or go to jail. Like, can I just tell me how much I owe? Let me pay it and then stop changing the time.
Yeah, if they would stop. The problem is, though, I think on all of that, and I did want to comment. I saw your little comment, Chris. And like Jess not getting sucked into my vortex last week and trying to fight, I was not going to get into a liberal bullshit with you. What'd you say?
I said that was so good.
That was pretty fucking good, actually.
It was pretty fucking good.
Uh-huh.
That I don't like I am a proponent of just this isn't funny at all. I like the idea of a flat tax. We all fucking paid 8% or whatever, 10%, whatever the fuck it would be. I'm a proponent for that. Then I would feel fine. If I earn, $150,000 and I got to pay 10% of it, fine. If you earn $20,000, not you, Jess, just another person earns $60,000 and they got to pay 10% of it, fine. I'm good with that. I'm not good with, hey, I should pay more because I make more. I'm not good with that. I don't think people who are millionaires should pay more than me. I think they should pay the same as me.
Right. Which is going to be more than you anyway.
Of course it is. Right. You're exactly right. But I don't see. So that's why they get. Well, you're making them pay the same. Well, we got to find them a loophole.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But then there's all this other shit. Oh, you got $600 in free product. You got to pay this tax and that tax and this other thing.
Right.
And then you made another $600 doing this other. Like, come on.
Right. Just put it all into one fucking. Here it is. It's all in the same cart.
Mm-hmm.
Do it just like my Amazon shopping cart. Here it all is. It's all priced out. Show me the bottom line. Fantastic. Here you go. Do you pay tax on your Amazon purchases where you are? Because I pay tax on my Amazon.
Yeah, we have sales
pretty
tax.
sure. Yeah.
So it must not be a federal. It must be a state tax.
No, yeah, it's based on your where you live.
So it's a state tax.
And our sales tax is pretty high because we have no income tax.
Yeah. So there's a funny. It's like New Hampshire. They have no no taxes. They think.
Yeah.
They pay way more than I pay in taxes. Way more because their tax is hidden and it's called a user fee.
Uh-huh.
It's a user fee. It's like, what the fuck? Of course you have taxes. And you pay for your garbage bags, and I don't.
Yeah.
See, I don't. I go to the dump. Actually, I don't think I've gone to the dump or the transfer station now in about a year because all we do is Jody throws it in the back of her car and drops it off at work. In the work dumpster.
God bless her.
When I lived in Ithaca, they have. I'm assuming they still do this. And Ithaca is one of those hyper green.
Portland had them too. The blue bag
cities. Yeah, you had to. Your trash bags were like $8 a bag or some ridiculous thing because they didn't want you to use them, and they had to be clear so that they could make sure that you were only throwing out things that could be recycled. And then you had to put, I don't know, you had to buy tags or some shit. I don't know. It was a lot to make sure. So when I left there, having my whole life lived there where they had this, I mean, they only had that rule probably the last 10 or so years that I lived there. But then I moved to other places where they were like, recycling.
Right.
What's that? And even here, I feel weird about it because they don't let you recycle glass. I mean, you can take it, you can save it up and drive it yourself to a place, but they don't pick up glass recycling. They pick up plastic and cardboard.
Just look on your little town website, your little town Facebook page, and when the Boy Scouts are doing a bottle drive, come on by my house. I'll leave them right outside.
Well, we don't have the bottle. We don't have the bottle, the 5 cent.
Oh, you don't have nickel a bottle? You don't have that?
Bottle drive? What? They stopped collecting for wartime polio a while ago.
No. Sure. When the Boy Scouts are doing stuff, instead of bringing it to the recycler, because we pay a nickel here.
No, we don't have that.
Big wine bottle, it's 15 cents. But the Boy Scouts say, oh, we're doing a can and bottle drive, so we can.
We don't have that. In fact, we just this year, or maybe late last year, just went from recycling being picked up once a month to twice a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell, Montgomery County, it's once a week.
You guys are joining the 1970s.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there.
It's almost 1974.
See, what's happening is the services are going forward slowly, and then the human rights are going backwards slowly. And I think the idea is that at some point we're going to meet at around 1963.
Yeah. I think it's really cool that it's from 1974 there, but it's a shame that Elvis is going to die in 3 years.
Yeah.
Especially in that town.
Speaking of Elvis, Jess, I would he just reminded me of remember when we did the Elvis bit on his birthday and called Graceland?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
And then years later, I don't know if I've talked about this, but when I worked in Memphis for a few months, literally just a few months.
Horrible place.
I was there for about 8 months.
You were such a rebel.
And I was a rebel. And I did middays, and Graceland would call in requests.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did they want to hear Elvis?
And I would be like, do you guys remember me? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I'm sure they never get any calls from morons like us on Elvis's
Do you guys remember me? I totally talked to you 30 years ago.
Do you remember me? I came upstairs and fucked on Nick Cage one time. You remember that?
Goddamn. All right, listen, you guys. It's time for me to eat pork.
Okay.
Ooh, you'll be unclean.
I am a fan of pork chop, but I like the fat on it. See, and I bet you like the fat on your pork chops too, Chris. Yeah, see that's what's killing you, brother. That a nice crispy fat on a pork chop. I do like pork chop. So my favorite meal, I guess I'll just say, pork chops, mashed potatoes, and lima beans.
All right, there, fucking Peter Brady. Pork chops and applesauce.
Pork chops and applesauce. We all remember that.
Why does everybody know that?
Oh, they know. Martian. There's 3 or 4 that people remember from there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when was it Davy Jones from the Monkees was on?
Mm-hmm.
When he was on, Marsha was so in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff. Good shit. What do you got for us, Chris?
I'm pretty sure diarrhea soon.
Well, there we go.
I think that's going to be the show promo right there.
The same old song and dance.
All right, you guys.
All right, fantastic.
All right,
have a great week, you guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Chris, follow the rules, will you?
I'm dude. It's tough, but I'm trying.
All right, see y'all.
Bye.
Bye.